Hello everybody, this is Juntas. Today we're going to be taking a look at bow Amazons. So for a while I've always thought that the bow Amazon was kinda sucky, it couldn't really do players 8, and I still wanted to stick with that, that mindset, but I wanted to test it out now after the last video I did. People were also requesting to just do more builds on players 8, like what classes, what builds can even do players 8, and yeah. This build can barely do players 8. So in like 9 minutes or so now, I will talk a little about the bow Amazon and why it's one of the worst builds in Diablo 2. The Amazon is pretty much just a lightning Javason. It really can't do any other builds. I had done a Frost Maiden, that's a Frost bow Amazon. I've done a Fire bow Amazon, and I've done a Jab, so it's using like a spear or something like that, and then a lightning Javason. And even like something, the poison Javason is also not really good. It's really all about the lightning Javason for the Amazon class. And that's kind of a sad thing to know that, yeah, we actually have a whole class that really can only do one build properly. To my left here, I'm running a Windforce and a Faith on the right side. So you can see that the Faith is a little bit ahead so far, but it's gonna creep up a lot more as we progress further. This is also a topic I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about here in the start of the video. It's not really a comparison to the two bows, the two builds. Actually, the only difference between Windforce best in slot and a Faith best in slot is just the helm and the bow itself. So there's not much difference there, but in the description below, I will leave an excellent video of Tube Funes. I can never really remember his name. Anywho, that's a really great video who compares all the bows, like the general best bows in Diablo 2. What are the best bows? His video is very good, and the run I'm doing right now just kind of affirms his findings in that video as well, where Faith is superior to any other bow, even the Windforce. However, the Windforce is the second best. But yeah, even with the best gear and the best possible freaking items for a bow Amazon, here it's offline, all the stuff, you can't really do players 8 good on a bow Amazon. I also wanted to mention that I did it with a Pride Merc. Some people were commenting, oh, please begin using a Pride Merc on your bow Amazon builds, etc. But it just didn't really, it wasn't really a good, finding for me, or what can you say? It just wasn't really nice to use a Pride, because I also found that the Valkyrie mercenary would die a lot more. However, my own mercenary was able to survive. It wasn't as good as the normal setup with Reaper's Toll, but it was still okay. But yeah, the Creepify does help the Valkyrie to stay alive as well. Just a note, the Valkyrie is level 27. Anywho, a little thing here I also wanted to note. You see now I run out of arrows on the Windforce, and I kind of did it on the Faith as well, but I found some arrows just before. Running out of arrows, and you can't find arrows as you're killing mobs. I know that's such a legacy thing in like old games with quivers and whatnot. They don't really have that problem in modern RPGs, but yeah, that's just so stupid. I have to go back to town like 2 times doing a run because I don't find arrows as I'm killing mobs. That just also ruins kind of the fun aspect of trying to do this experiment in a fast way, because obviously every one of these builds could maybe be like a minute faster if I just had like the perfect run with no arrows on the ground there as I get on my Faith now. But yeah, that's just an RNG aspect I wanted to mention, because not finding arrows as you are playing is actually a big part of a bow Amazon. I definitely did not like that. Now I've been a little negative so far about the build, however, but you can clearly see that they are surviving well, they are doing okay damage. Another thing I also wanted to mention, it's kind of nice with crowd control. I have a Raven Frost ring on my, both of the builds actually. You could also just use a Frost Charm small charm with frost damage on, but they do kind of good crowd control. You see they're freezing all the mobs and they're kind of just stunning them in a way. It's actually pretty good for, general crowd control and that sort of thing. So that's a kind of bonus thing for also like multiplayer games. Like, I guess this build has a place in multiplayer. Still, it's so low damage on players 8 that I would never really pick one for my team. But I kind of just wanted to mention that because that's like the only thing positive I can find about this. Because you see now, it's been 5 minutes, so like now even my frenzy barb was done doing the full run, killing Diablo and whatnot. And now first the Faith Amazon, the best slot, the best freaking gear you can get is at Diablo. It's painful to see. I wanted to mention a little bit about boss damage now. It's a kind of RNG on that aspect. In order to really kill the boss fast, you kind of need to get the mercenaries tanking the boss itself, because once he begins targeting you, it gets way messy, which you will see on my Windforce kill. This was actually a very good run and a very good kill on my Faith Bow Amazon. It was just lucky that, you kind of saw that he was almost bogging out and whatnot. That's a very lucky kill, which is also probably why it's on nearly at 6 minutes, 6 minutes 15 seconds for the Faith build, which is again not bad. It's players 8 and you can see the gear here. Just kind of standard Faith best in slot gear. There's not really amazing about it. But I also wanted to mention a little thing. You see I was using Triver's boots. In order to actually survive well enough on players 8, I couldn't really go full glass cannon, which is also why I got a lot of life, had 3000 life just to kind of feel safe. You could probably run with like 1500 life with call arms, but it would feel a little bit risky because sometimes you might not leech enough if there are not enough if there's not a lot targets to leech on. Like a pull like this one on my Faith now, if they were hitting me, it could be a little dicey because there's not a lot of targets around to damage, which by the way, the leech is really good on this build. I'm always amazed by the amount of leech, even if the damage is not that good. But anyway, I want to talk a little more general thoughts on the Bow Amazon build. It's super annoying because it's so obvious why this build is so weak. The bows themselves, like the damage that all the skills do, how the skills works and all those things, they're fine. You could maybe buff them a little bit, the base damage of skills and whatnot, but it's not really needed. It's just the bows themselves. They have like 200, 150, maybe 300 max damage, which is nothing. You equip a Grief and you got like 400, 500 or what do I know. It's so freaking little max damage these bows do. And then even like I feel like some of the gear is not really supporting Bow Amazons that good. Anywho, you're gonna see now the Mercenary and the Valkyrie is not really tanking Diablo. So now I'm just gonna get in a heap of trouble. Yes, the boss is gonna die, but it's like I have to drink a lot of potions. I think my call time drops at one point as well, and I'm gonna be like rebuffing myself. It can't even tank a boss, it's that bad. And now my call times dropped, and I'm like, let's just take it a little carefully because I didn't want to die. I know I didn't have that many potions left now, so it got a little bit messy as well there. But the Bow Amazon just needs a big buff, and it's so annoying to see because like this is a Windforce build with full gear, and I'm struggling to even like kill the boss fast. And now my Mercenary died as well, so that doesn't make the end part that much easier as well. Anywho, that's really all I kind of wanted to say. You can also see the gear now. I believe I show it. It's just really unfortunate that the Bow Amazon is this weak, because honestly I feel like it's one of the most fun builds. It just feels really good to spray those arrows. But that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching and have a good one.